I'm sorry about your brother, Ilmo.
Jaakko was all heart. He always went along with my ideas, no matter how stupid they were. Always happy to help. I got carried away. I never think things through. It's my fault.
I realize it's a bad time. But I need you to tell me everything about the Cult of the Tree.
The cult is my craziest idea that ever worked. Look, what kind of a cult calls themselves a cult? Exactly. We protect Water in Bright Falls. We're the good guys. A secret neighborhood watch. Well, that was the idea anyways. Look, we've always known about the horror inside the lake. When any Taken come out, we kill them.
You don't turn people into Taken. You kill the ones who already have. You were trying to kill Alan Wake. Why?
Nothing good has ever come out of Cauldron Lake. The nightmare that hit Bright Falls in 2010 was all because of his writing. And ever since then, pages of his stories are floating up from the lake, and monsters keep popping out. It's all him, Wake. And if we don't stop him, no one will.
Wake's evil doppelganger Scratch is the threat we're facing. Not Wake. And I will stop him.
I've never heard of anyone called Scratch.
How long has the cult been around for?
Certain folks around here have always known about Cauldron Lake. Before us, it was the Torchbearers. And when I inherited the mission, I wanted to call it a cult. It was genius. Just a name did half the work. Made people too scared to go into the woods at night. Business 101. Fear is a great motivator.
Ilmo said the cult kills Taken. Is he telling the truth?
Surplus deer masks buy in bulk. We've got a floater, a Taken on the shore. Call the gang Jaakko. We are going hunting. Cult of the Tree. Keeping the town safe since 2013.
Ilmo is telling the truth about the cult. They really were fighting the Taken. We're on the same side. If the cult is killing Taken, then why did Nightingale turn into one?
Private party. Invitation only. Wrong time, wrong place. Time to go, Jaakko. A job half done isn't done at all.
Nightingale became a Taken because the Bookers interrupted their ritual. I assumed Wake escaped the dark place. Is it possible he's still there?
The Big Apple in an ocean of darkness. Gone diving. Note from my editor. You're using the wrong tense. Trapped in a loop. My friends will meet him when I'm gone.
Wake is still trapped in the dark place. Maybe he always was. The dark presence is vulnerable against bright light. At least that makes sense. No. Wake is trapped in the dark place. He's been reaching out, communicating with me in the overlaps. think, Saga. The Cult of the Tree is just the Cascella brothers' slightly misguided solution to the Taken problem. I'm gonna deal with the situation, Ilmo. But the town will need protection until we sort this out. I could use your help.
Right. Right. I'll round up the gang. Whoever's left. We won't let these fucking monsters hurt any more of our people. We'll do my brother proud.
Thank you, Ilmo.
My brother. Vito, Vito.
Scratch's wake's double. He tricked us. He almost got the clicker from me. The whole plan has gone out the window. How could we get this so wrong?
Textbook boondoggle.
You said it, Anderson. It's a shit show. So what's the plan?
The FBC usually handles stuff like this, right? Any thoughts?
Hold up. You brought a paranatural object in here without telling me and then almost handed it over to a hostile entity?
I didn't know if I could trust you. That was a mistake. So was believing Scratch. But it's not too late. I just need to understand more.
You got that right. Let's start acting like we're on the same side, yeah?
So tell me what I'm missing. The FBC must know something.
Good news, we have Bureau intel on all of this. Bad news, it's highly classified. Good news, consider yourself deputized into the Federal Bureau of Control. Here's a key to the cell where we keep the files. Happy reading.
Okay. Thanks. Go team.
One more thing, the lake house. I didn't give you all the details earlier, but now that you're part of the team, I can really let loose. Misery loves company.
The horror story's changing reality. It made it so my daughter died here, even though she's supposed to be back home in Virginia. Do you know if that's...
AWEs are localized distortions of reality. The area outside town might not be affected. Sometimes they expand, sometimes they fizzle out. If we can make sure it's the latter, your kid might be fine.
What happened at the lake house?
Right. You've seen firsthand how complicated and messy the FBC's cases are. But this story should help you learn that things can always get weirder. This isn't the Bureau's first time in Bright Falls. 1970, 76, 8... Last one was in 2010. It's not exactly clockwork, but this town sees way more altered world events than most. We knew it was just a matter of time before the lake acted up again. After the AWE in 2010, the FBC's research department set up a facility, the Lake House, to study the Threshold and Cauldron Lake, find better ways to contain the entity inside. Your tax dollars at work. When we detected a spike in paranatural activity at Cauldron Lake, before I even knew you were on this case, Saga, the Lake House was my first stop. I was short-handed, hoped they could spare some help, maybe give us some intel on the situation. If I had any clue what was waiting for us in there, Saga, I'd have just kept on driving. This is Agent Kieran Estevez responding to an AWE alert in the vicinity. I need to speak with the Marmons. So much for the welcome wagon. You all set up the perimeter. We're on the Threshold's doorstep, so keep your eyes peeled.
Yes, ma'am.
This shouldn't take long, okay? You see anything, radio me.
Roger that.
The Lake House was run by the research department. Research and investigations don't really see eye to eye. What they call science, I call a violation of Bureau protocol and human decency. Classic interdepartmental drama. Your FBI saga, you know how it goes. Now, in retrospect, my low opinion of the research department may have clouded my judgment. Hello? Agent Kieran Estevez, Investigations Department. No one wants to check the individual carrying a firearm into a restricted government facility? No? Okay, well, it was definitely going in the report. Dr. Marmont's not here. Nobody is? I'll have to check downstairs. Changing passwords, huh? They must all be working on the lower levels. I'll need to head down. An experiment. That bodes well. Damn it. Nope. Come on. That's not right. That's handy.
Access denied.
This should come in handy. As soon as I got in that elevator, My bad news detector started going nuts. Estevesta team, something's going on in the lake house. I want all nearby agents to push!
Level 1.
Agent Estevez, what's your status?
Breach detected on sublevel 5. Staff should seek shelter immediately.
We have a situation in the lake house. All agents converge on the facility now. Belay that order. Shit. A threshold event had hit the lake house. Now, it was the Marmont's problem. Our mission was outside. What the fuck was that? I need to get back to the elevator. Okay. Priority 1, get the lights on. Standing around in the dark near Cauldron Lake is not smart. Dr. Darling. That is not a regulation FBC weapon. Can't open it from the side. Oh, I wish they'd make these things lighter. The way I saw it, there was only one way out. Identify the source of the event and contain or eliminate it. Now, good news, I just had to keep going down. Bad news, the elevator liked to disappear. At least the elevator's back. Can't open it from the side.
First off, a huge thank you to everyone here. The Lake House has made amazing strides in researching the AWE here at Cauldron Lake. Great work, team. I wanted to come in person so I could check in on the latest work. I won't get in the way. It's not our view, so no reason to be scared. Did you hear that, Dr. Marmot? While I'm here, I want to focus on the relationship between the Shadow and the AWE site below the lake. The theory that the Shadow even originates from the dimension this threshold is tapping into is compelling. Eventually, I want to understand how this dimension manages to convert subjective elements like art into objective reality. What are the constraints of this phenomenon? Can it, say, create altered items or even objects of power simply by manifesting them via a piece of art? These are the things we need to know to accurately classify the Shadow. I mean, that name is not very scientific. I mean, who came up with that? Shadow. So, any and all proposals are welcome. Anything testing art's effect on reality by using the Shadow's energy is preferred. To find answers, we'll first need a lot of data. No wrong answers. And when I return to the oldest house, I'll take back anything we end up with to run against a classified project called Hedron to build a comparative data set. I wish I could tell you more. It's very, very exciting. Non-physical forces impacting. Oh, no, sorry, I really can't. It is. You know what? Maybe some of you can come visit. We'll have to get you clearance, of course, but if that would, maybe that can. You know what? I don't want to take the entire day talking. So, the Shadow represents a whole new area of research, and I couldn't be more excited to start digging in. It is a great new world, people.
The Lake House's research went way beyond studying Cauldron Lake's threshold. Playing with paranatural forces, it never goes well, Saga. This is exactly why we lock up people like Wake. If you can understand me. This isn't working. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. You never really get used to the shit you see in this job, but you can learn techniques to adjust, to function. Take 6 deep breaths, then get to work. Find the source, collapse the threshold.
Mirror, please hold. Please hold.
No, where am I?
Hold. Please hold.
What is that? can understand me. I'm an agent of the Federal Bureau of Control. I can assist you if you take no hostile action against me or any action that can be perceived as hostile. Do you understand? Well, I'll be damned. So what kind of entity are you? You can speak. That means you probably imprinted on a person or retained some of your former self's information. Previously human, maybe? Okay, I can work with that. I just had an unpleasant encounter with some other painted individuals. Any relation?
1,000 paintings used crude.
What does that mean?
Paint, no brush, a self-portrait.
Okay, hey, calm down.
Fire in his eyes and hands and bones.
You need to cease all hostility right now. Bad news. That thing is really pissed off. Good news. It didn't try to kill me. Baby steps. Angry living paintings are not typically on the Cauldron Lake bingo card. Something different was happening at the lake house. Couldn't let it escape. Bright Falls didn't need this particular cherry on its already shitty Sunday.
3.
Rudolph Lane stood back from the canvas. He didn't recognize the piece. Did he paint this? His mind was foggy, unfocused. He knew the Marmonts were putting something in his food. A man in a white coat came to steer Lane back to his cell. He did not resist. He was too tired. He lay on the bed, but the stench in his cell wouldn't let him sleep. An acid stink. The turpentine. The paint. It was all over him. Years of it. 1,000 paintings. 1,000 more to come. A putrid weight he could never wash away. Cold hate simmered below the mist clogging his thoughts. Hatred for the paint. Hatred for the brushes. For the Marmonts. For himself. Diana and Jules Marmont had once been a team. Rising stars in the Bureau, both talented in their own way. Diana innovated and Jules got funding from the bureaucrats. Cooperation led to respect. Connection. Then after a decade of hard work, the happy couple were promoted. Co-heads of research. Their first years at the lake house were good. Challenging, but not insurmountable. Not for them. Gradually, thoughts fell into their heads like drops of dark water. Why does she get all the credit? Why does he get any credit? With that, a crack formed in the lake house. The Marmonts and their work became arrogant, erratic. The crack widened and the water seeped in.
checked the records, and this page is not in our inventory. I believe it manifested inside the lake house directly. I won't be filing this page. It'll just send Jules into a panic. The page is written in Lake's usual style, so I can't say for certain that it's figured over and calls us monsters. But what's interesting is that the page indicates that AT succeeded in linking Cauldron Lake's threshold with our facility. Writing has always been a clearly superior avenue of research. Ragnar considered that the writing itself would dictate a different art form as the catalyst for our success. I cannot accept that. I can't allow Jules to stumble his way into success. Not after the years of work I put into this research. I got word yesterday that 2 writers are visiting our files. I will beat Jules to the finish line.
There was a crack in the lake house. The Marmonts had let the lake in, but the water could not flow. It became trapped, stagnant, went back. The truth was controlled here. The art was not art, just content for the experiment. There was a crack in the lake house. The Marmonts had let the lake in, but the water could not flow. It became trapped, stagnant, went back.
Typewriters. Please don't let this be what I think it is.
As you know by now, typewriters and Cauldron Lake do not mix. And a room full of them all clacking away. 100% bad news.
March 7th, 2018. Notes regarding Dr. Emil Hartman, founder of the Cauldron Lake Lodge, where he manipulated artists in an attempt to control the power of the Shadow. I've gone through his notes, which were confiscated by the Bureau after his arrest in 2010. Overall, Hartman's work was sloppy. Complete disregard for proper scientific method. But he was bold enough to try something we haven't. Our procedural writing machines are promising, but we could understand the effects of Cauldron Lake's threshold much better by observing live artists in action. Thanks to Hartman, we even have a list of prospects. Next step is to send Dr. Darling a request to bring some into the lake house for analysis.
never say no to extra firepower. Back where I started. Spatial recurrence. Usually observes the law of 3.
This contrived overlap rebounded on itself, compressing, compounding, reflecting, and refracting. An urban legend and a murder in constant imbalance. Cause and effect hopelessly tangled. Arranged wrong, the dream logic flawed, the feedback doubled and redoubled, out of control. The pressure kept building, looking for release. This contrived.
Down there had been corrupted. Shit just kept getting worse. Loop 3. Should be the last one.
I keep coming back to this page. The author's clearly awake. It's like he's warning us. But about what? I mean, what does it mean? This page scared Jules away from the work on Wake's writing. The coward can't stand risk. But science is risk. For me, this is proof that we are going in the right direction. I just need Rudolph Lane's paintings to lead to more pages so that hopefully one day we can understand. I keep coming back to this page. The author's clearly awake.
Shape-shifting phenomena.
Did the people here do this to you?
Marmon's clouding his head.
Alan Wake's writing is being studied here. Do you know anything about him?
Names don't matter. 1,000 more to come.
They say clear communication is the key to any relationship. You and I have some work to do there. You said Marmonts before. Do they do this? Where are they now?
Misery! Hate!
Tell me where they are. Christ. It's fixated on the Marmonts. What did they do?
Denied.
A threshold is the connection between a foreign reality and our own. Now, they all have their own rules, strange as they are, but the further down I went, the more chaotic this one got. Clearly, this was the Cauldron Lake threshold, but something was wrong. Well, more wrong than usual.
Sublevel 2.
Level-wide lockdown in effect. Please remain calm. Level-wide lockdown in effect. Please remain calm.
Finally, someone who isn't a painting. Hey, hello. Who are you?
Sorry, got a flow going. Can we do this later?
No, we cannot. I'm Agent Kieran Estevez. I'm with the government, and I need your name.
I'm Ed Brooker, the playwright. And I'm hitting my stride here, so can you guys stop with all that banging and screaming? It's throwing me off.
Where do you think you are right now?
In an immersive writing workshop.
Well, bad news, it's not a writing workshop. Good news, it's not a writing workshop.
Right. It's a government facility studying the power of creativity. That makes way more sense.
What are you even doing? What are you writing?
Well, after you all abducted me in the woods, I've been working on this manuscript you gave me because you need it for some experiment or something. I kind of forget the premise. But, you know, I've had this block lately, and filling in the gaps of this story has really loosened me up. Copying the style is a nice constraint, but I still have lots of room to play. It's a solid creative exercise.
Look around you. How is this a workshop?
You have to stay in character. I get that. I'm in the theater business too. And look, the sets, the costumes, all great in that, you know, campy, 70s sci-fi kind of way. But you could dial down the role-playing like 15, 20%. Just some professional advice.
Sir, whether you are aware of it or not, there is a situation here. I need you to stay in your cell until I can resolve the matter, okay?
Uh-huh, got it. Hey, no one's been around with food for a while. I could go for some dinner when you have a second. Oh, and can I get my phone back? I want to call my wife. I don't know how Tammy found you guys, but she killed it. 5 stars all around.
Yeah, I'll get right on that. I wonder what happened here.
Jules Marmont looked at the painting. He didn't understand it. Saw only random whirls of color. Drugging Lane made him more compliant, but his work had turned abstract. Jules needed more art his team could parse, could test, trial and error. These abstract explosions of color complicated the data. His grip tightened around the letter opener in his hand. The piece of art he needed was hidden inside Lane. If Jules could simply cut the painter open and pull the painting out of him, he would. The overhead lights flickered. Jules would make Lane cooperate. No more drugs. Less carrot, more stick. Jules had to go faster. He wouldn't lose to Diana. Nothing else mattered.
I can't paint anymore. I know you want me to paint, but I can't. I'm empty.
Rudolph, no. You love to paint. And you are such a talent. This is just the classic artist slump.
No. No, I hate it. It's just taking from me now. When can I leave? You said you'd let me leave.
Ah, Rudolph, but you volunteered to come, remember? We are helping you, like Dr. Hartman did. Perhaps you need to see our doctor? I can arrange that.
No. No, that's... I am feeling better. Much better. I will paint.
Ah, this is wonderful to hear, Rudolph. I knew you would come back to your old self.
Well, there's the elevator. How do I get in? Won't open while the floor's on lockdown. There.
Lockdown lifted. You are now safe to resume working.
Estevez, come in. Facility. Sub-level 1. You copy?
No. Turn back. Area is extremely hostile. A higher access card. Sorry, but I need this. Fucking radios. I'm on floor 1. I need help.
had a thought today. A possible avenue for further research. When we think of art successfully affecting reality, we always think of Alan Wake and his writing. This could be due to recency bias or simply the amount of recorded evidence skewing our opinion. But also, I wonder if writing's very nature is an advantage. Text can describe events in such explicit detail. The story gives the shadow a, how you say, blueprint, a map of what to make real. But not all art is like this. Music, sculpture, dance, cuisine, in our case, a painting. When the source material is open to interpretation, how will the shadow choose to interpret it? I think Diana will find the question very interesting. Most likely, she already has an answer. That's why I love her.
My team was on sublevel 1. I knew they were in danger. The Marmonts turned innocent people into tools using the FBC's authority. They thought they were untouchable out here, hidden away in the woods. No. Actions have consequences. And I'm the consequences.
Sublevel 1.
You fucking bastard! Jules Marmont killed my team. He was taken by the Shadow. I should get that gun while I'm up here.
That name is not very scientific. I mean, who came up with that?
This should get me down to sublevel 5. And this should get me past any other problems.
There was a crack in the lake house. The Marmonts had let the lake in, but the water could not flow. It became trapped, stagnant, went bad. The truth was controlled here. The art was not art, just content for the experiment. The contrived overlap rebounded on itself, compressing, compounding, reflecting and refracting. An urban legend and a murder in constant imbalance, cause and effect hopelessly entangled. Arranged wrong, the dream logic flawed. The feedback loop doubled and redoubled, out of control. The pressure kept building, looking for a release.
Bingo. That keycard's gonna get me to sublevel 5. Finally! Something works on these bastards. The Shadow had changed Jules Marmont into a hostile, paranatural entity. That made everything simpler. No arrest, no paperwork. I could put him down like the monster he was.
Sublevel 2.
Lane was found dead in his cell this morning. It's an unfortunate setback. But when a door is closed, a window is opened. I believe that's the saying. Lane may be gone, but he left us with a goodbye present. A final piece of art. This piece is different. It's raw emotion, pure truth. He put everything he had into this one. Literally. Every reading we take is off the charts. This is what we have been waiting for. It is the key. I will achieve what no one has before me. Fools will finally see me for the genius I am.
Mormonts were holding a painter here. Rudolph Lane. Does that ring a bell?
The shame of a man!
I think you are, or were, Rudolph Lane.
Himself! A self-portrait! Make them see!
Look, I might be able to help you. But I need information, cooperation.
No brush! Just himself!
Rudolph Lane was dying. Both murderer and victim. Red hues ran down his hands. Was it scarlet? Or cadmium? Too vivid to be maroon. Names don't matter, he decided. Color was pure. Inspiring. For the first time in years, he wanted to paint. A self-portrait. To say goodbye. No. To make them remember. To make them see what they did. He slapped his hands against the wall to steady himself. He began from there. No brush, just himself. The strokes were crude, violent. The pain, misery, and hate he'd endured there. The fire in his eyes and hands and bones all spread into the shape of a man. It was quick. Natural. Like a heart attack. He slumped down to the floor, smiling at the anger he left smeared across the wall.
Sublevel 4.
Gotta find that elevator.
lake house was underwater. The Marmont's ambitions had finally been realized. Jules had dangled the painting like a lure and hooked an ocean. Their machines couldn't hold it. A fault in the system. The water rushed in, filled it until it was ready to burst. All their successes and failures had led them here. The work had made them into monsters. But the lake house was still theirs. It always would be. They could feel an outsider trespassing in their labs. "I know you're here," they called out to the dark. They hunted floor by floor. They wouldn't let the intruders stop their progress. This was their home, their beloved tomb beneath the waves.
September 13th, 2023, notes regarding the concept of the tortured artist. A romanticized image of the sensitive artistic temperament, yes. But there may be truth in the cliche. It's no secret Rudolph Lane has been unhappy here for years. But, the aggregate data shows his art's viability score trending upward over time. If Jules hadn't neglected to hold regular psychological exams, then we could have quantified the subject's emotional state, creating a sort of distress rating to compare against the art's score. I'll make this a sub-goal of my study of Edward Booker. Once we set the variables and establish a control reading of his art and mental state, then we can begin inducing negative emotion. Limited food and water, perhaps. An increasingly tight living space. This is how Jules lost his subject, though. Need to be careful not to leave any sharp objects in Booker's cell.
Deep press, deep press. Clock stopped, and another shoe was dropped. What a mess, what a mess. Deep press. 6 deep breaths, forget all the rest. Sharp pain. There's something in the way. What next? Sharp pain. Deep press. 6 deep breaths, forget all the rest. Go, go. I gotta let go, go. Of everything that I've ever known. Deep press. Slow. Gotta take it slow. That's the fastest way that I know. Deep breaths. 6 deep breaths till the pain subsides. 6 deep breaths till I'm fine, I'm fine. 6 deep breaths, swallow all my pride. And just like that, I've arrived. I feel like I'm floating on air.
Where'd the elevator go? This doesn't look like Lane's style. Different artist.
All those years, he steals credit for my ideas and my work, and now he's scared of being plagiarized? Oh, that is really fucking rich, Jules. Oh, and he's reportedly misplaced the manuscript pages I need for my work. Suddenly, the exact pages that I need to reference have just vanished. He is actively impeding critical bureau research. I mean, if he can do that, then what is stopping me from going down to that lab? And I don't know, just inverting the amplifiers or misaligning the receivers or both. It's the same thing in principle.
Oh, Jesus. 1, 2, 3.
Sublevel 5.
6. No. Okay, black rock powder. Need to keep an eye out for more of these. The Marmonts had opened the door into Cauldron Lake's threshold. It was forced. It was unstable. Shutting the experiment down was the only option. Typical fucking Mormons. No time for this! I need to shut down this threshold before it fractures.
Captain Estevez stood in the forest just outside of Bright Falls. She watched her team detain Alan Wake and Ilmo Koskela, stuffing them into black SUVs. She realized this was the moment Wake had been writing in the vision she had seen. The story was coming true. She pushed the thought out of her head. It had been a good tip, a way to find Wake. Nothing more.
Alan Wake!
After the Threshold event collapsed, I was back at Cauldron Lake. But for a moment, I was somewhere else. I saw Alan Wake there. He was writing about me finding him in Bright Falls, in the woods. It was a good tip. I called the surviving members of my team, and I told them to meet me there. You know, these cases, they never get less ambiguous or easier. This one, this was tough. Because protocol says entities like the Taken are monsters, threats. But the Marmots were monsters way before the Shadow got to them. So at the end of the day, what's the difference?
We wrote so many things, wrote them for you and me. We're here standing on a precipice. We are ready to take a leap, but that only comes after. For this was the end scene. This was the end of an era. This was the sum of my body of work. When I'll be long gone, you can hold this together, and you can take it or leave it. Everything that comes after, and we'll always have this. All these moments that led us here, all this joy and these heartaches, they're woven into our very fabric. Can take that away from us. The journey that brought us here. The journey that made us who we are. The journey that brought us here.